is CJRT FM 91.1.
Listener supported. Jazz FM 91.
Afternoon Drive with Brad Barker is brought to you by Bay Bloor Radio. Love your music, love your turntable.
It is 3 o'clock right on the button. And as I mentioned off the top of the show, today is a special day because we're going to speak with one of the folks who have won our Mary Alice Stuart Scholarship Award. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Mary Alice Stuart before we talk to our guest here. Mary Alice Stuart was a really important person here at the radio station. She was the founding chair of Jazz FM 91 and made an unparalleled contribution to this organization, making Jazz FM 91 the very successful enterprise it is today. And to honor her legacy, we've developed a program back in 2009 that awards scholarships to outstanding emerging jazz artists, and that's exactly what we have here today. Magda Baraczka?
Baraczka, yes.
Is joining me today, and she is one of the co-recipients of our Mary Alice Stuart Award. We had too much talent this year, so it went to two of you, but congratulations first, and it's nice to meet you. Welcome to Jazz FM 91.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too.
First, tell me a little bit. You sounded great. I'm going to, full disclosure, I was part of the judging committee as well, so you sounded great, so beautiful on the stuff that you sent us. It wasn't a no-brainer, but you certainly shone very brightly amongst the people who sent us stuff this year.
Oh, thank you so much.
Tell me a little bit about your musical family. I know your dad and your uncle are kind of in the musical pool a little bit. Were they some kind of influence for you early on?
Absolutely, yeah. Like growing up in a musical family definitely made a really big impact.
Were they professionals or fun players, or what was the...
Yes, professionals.
Yes?
Yes, and a little bit of fun on the side too. It's not my dad's full-time gig, but it's a big part of his life too.
Wow.
And it's a big part of my uncle's life. And so having them in my life and just value the arts so much, and having a family that music is very important for, it made sure that it was important for me too.
So when you started thinking about doing this, it wasn't like, what are you talking about?
There was no question, no doubting or anything.
Were they? What kind of genre of music did they play with?
Funk.
Funk
really? Music, soul, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
how great! That sounds like a fun house.
Yeah.
So I know before you started sort of concentrating on being a vocalist that you were an instrumentalist. Originally started on piano and played alto sax for a long time. Tell me a little bit about how you got into those instruments and what those early stages of your musical development were like before you started to sing.
Yeah, so I started on the piano when I was 7. I went pretty far too, all the way to the end of high school as well with that, like classical piano. And then in grade 5, I was very lucky to be in the year where they were like, you guys do the band. And so I got the band. I did band all the way through to the end of high school.
Do they tell you what instrument to play, or did you say, I want to grab that alto? Or is it like, we need an alto player?
My teacher went to each student and let everyone try to see which one just worked with the mouth, I guess.
Nice.
It's like, yeah. And so luckily my stepmom actually played the alto, so I got to play it a couple months before he checked to see which instrument worked. And so I happened to end up with the alto.
So you were hoping a little bit because you had a little bit of a kind of a relationship with alto a bit?
Yeah, I was hoping, and I was very lucky, yeah.
I think you would say, too, a piano background, regardless of what level, what you do musically, it's such a great foundational instrument for everyone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see everything, where the notes are, and it's...
Yeah, when someone says, here's a chord with all those extensions or whatever, you can think of where the hand is and where the note is.
Yeah.
I remember being in school with drummers, and the first time they said about chords, they were like... They had no reference point, They had even a guitarist can know where to go, and a piano for sure. But it feels like that's just something that would help any musician moving forward, composing and all the things that go along.
Even when I sing, like when I'm soloing, I'm thinking of a piano. I envision a piano.
Did you, when you were playing alto and piano, did you always know that you were going to be a vocalist, or did it happen?
I never knew.
How did it come about then?
It was the end of high school, and I played alto sax in my jazz combo at school. Until the last year, and I started dabbling just in singing some of our tunes instead of playing on them. Mm-hmm. And by the kind of beginning of grade 12, it was time to start applying to post-secondary, and I thought, I just loved this, and it was so fun. And so I just went for it, and I applied to all of the schools for voice.
Before that, were you going to apply as an instrumentalist, or were you thinking of all kinds of different things? Or
I was thinking instrumentalist. I was thinking piano, maybe alto sax, but then I ended up just doing voice.
What a pivot right at the
Yeah.
at the finish line.
Yeah.
But it obviously must have been something that was very natural to you and something you loved doing, and must have been something that you obviously excelled at. Over when you got to school, did you know you had made the right choice pretty early on?
Absolutely.
Yes?
Yeah. It was very fast that I got comfortable in the program, and I felt right away kind of like this is what I want to be doing right now.
You know, as I was reading the things that you had sent in and what the educators had sent in, it seemed like that there was not only a passion for sort of singing and music, but also for jazz. You know, sometimes people think of going to school as kind of a springboard to a bigger career that may or may not include jazz, but it seemed like that you had a real passion for all the things that go along with it, the best and the worst of it, being on the bandstand, communicating jazz, and being in that arena of improvising and all the things that go with it. So I know you mentioned something about you wanted to share the conversation of jazz. Tell me a little bit about that love of it and how that manifests itself for you now.
Yeah, like for me, music and jazz is a conversation, and it's communication. And this year, I was very lucky to have the chance to sing with the Jim Lewis 12 TED, and I got to sing some music that I would never have the chance to sing. And this music was more on the free side, and there was so much that I could decide to do, and it was very playful, and it was so interesting to have the chance to just be in this new kind of music, and it was so fun.
It just sounds like it's such a door opening, when you get to that opportunity to be in and you're contributing to the sound of that, and I want to be in this more. I want to be so much discovery, I'm guessing, through those first couple of years at university, a lot of listening, a lot of interaction with your other people that you go to school with. I also know that education is a big part of not only what you're involved in, because you're being educated at U of T, but also you as an educator. We talked a little bit off air, but you also feel that's a really important part of this journey.
Absolutely, yeah. Seeing my students discover their passion and their joy for music and for picking up an instrument, and when they find out they love a song, and when they pick up their practice habits, and when they just find this love for music, it feels so special to me, and I feel so lucky to be able to witness that and to help them in their own journey.
Well, that's so great. You know, you also talked about, as a vocalist, the challenges sometimes of being in our city, where you go to different places and it's usually an instrumentalist game here as far as jazz goes, and it can be intimidating to show up and say, I want to be part of this environment. I want to get up on the bandstand. And tell me a little bit about, it doesn't seem like you shrink away from that, but it's something that you've kind of identified, and you're taking that challenge on. Yeah,
absolutely. It was very new being a part of this scene and coming to see all of the jams and all of the shows and all of the spaces where the musicians are, and it didn't surprise me, but it took a little bit at first to get used to learn how to build up the confidence, and just build up the confidence to join the space and to join the music and to join this conversation as a vocalist, where there are so many other instrumentalists. And so a lot of my singer friends really inspire me too, when I see them go up and I see them sing their song, and it's just so inspiring to see all the singers take their place in this space. And it's really important to me to build these relationships and have these conversations. And
it seems like so important, because I can imagine that, someone who, I bet there's so many times someone goes into that environment and doesn't have the little bit of extra confidence and might just leave, and they, so now you are part of leading other people and inspiring them to say, you know what, I am here, I belong here, and I'm going to get up and do my thing. And that's part of your inspiration now for other young musicians.
Absolutely, yeah.
Terrific. Well, let's before I let you get out of here, moving forward, what can we expect from you, Magda? What's going to go on?
I'm just looking forward to singing so many songs with so many people in so many different places, and
It's so great.
I'm just so excited for everything that's going to come.
Well, I hope you record some music that we can showcase here on the radio station at some point. Okay? Will you promise me that?
I promise.
All right, I look forward to it. That's Magda, who is with us here, and one of the recipients of our Mary Alice Stuart Scholarship Award. A delight to meet you. Best of luck moving forward, and please stay in touch.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.